Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around the world. We're here for yet another match of Corsace Closed. We've yet to get a match go beyond 6-2, and hopefully this match can change that. It's Decaten versus Skrowell. Should be a pretty good one between two players who tend to prefer similar styles of maps. I'm DL. I'm joined by Demarsh for this match.
Yes, like you said, very similar kind of map picking. You know, they're known for their like DT and hard rock. That's where a lot of their strengths lies. But again, that you don't get into Corsace Closed without being generally a very good all rounder and strong performance player. So it'll be interesting to see where these players are kind of going to ban and where they're going to pick into this match for sure.
Yeah, I think a big point of contention in this match is going to be who can kind of take control of some of the no mod maps in particular. Hidden, generally, you're going to favor Skrowell, has better results on the hiddens in qualifiers, is generally a better hidden gimmick and reading player, whereas Decaten, generally the better hard rock player as well. Both players okay on the DT. Not fantastic scores on the DT1 through qualifiers for either of these players, but both at least top 10 on the DT2. I think the main point of contention is going to be who can take control of stuff like the Nomad 3, Nomad 4 in this match. They're literally right next to each other in the placements on those Nomad 3 and Nomad 4 in qualifiers. And so I feel like a lot of this match is going to come down to how well these players can kind of take control of mod pools that are kind of up for grabs between the two of them. And I'm pretty surprised to see a Hard Rock 3. There we go. Hidden 2, banned out by Decaten. That's a little more to expectation.
I mean, Hard Rock 3, it's not an easy map by any means. But yeah, it looks like the bans were the wrong way around. So it's Skrowell first pick, I was gonna say. But yeah, pretty standard stuff. You've got the kind of like finger control focused, very awkward Hard Rock 3 banned out for Skrowell, and then you've got that Hidden 2, which is a lot more of that awkward aim from the hidden pool. So, and we're wasting no time. No mod 6.
Yeah, already the first pick coming out for Skrowell here. I mean, your opponent first bans Hidden 2. That makes sense. Pick the other low approach rate map that's left up in the pool. We do see a lot of people have a lot of trouble with this map. The back and forth triples, the huge cuts, the ridiculous aim control 1/3 wiggle streams. All of this is baked into a map that is not even AR9. Like, this map is AR 7.4. So doing that with all of the low approach rate involved is very difficult. Both players having some trouble with it, but decaten definitely having more trouble than Skrowell here.
Yeah, you've got this like very much repeating theme throughout this, whether it's just on those repeat sliders or those back and forth awkward jumps. Like there's a lot of difficulty to this map. And there you go. Immediately you see Skrowell break on the back and forth. They do catch you out, but still holds the lead in this one.
Yeah, we've pretty rarely seen this open throughout the weekend because of just how kind of ridiculous this map is. These back and forth sliders, the patterning itself in this map is just so hard, in addition to being below AR8, that a lot of players, against good reading players, have opted to just ban this rather than play it. We did see in the last match between Koriller and Intercamding, both of them put up actually very, very good scores on this map, and I think their scores, or rather the scores here from Skrowell and decaten, put into perspective just how good those scores from last match truly are. Because this is, I think, more to expectation than what we saw in the previous match. Like, this map is really, really hard. I think this is almost unequivocally the hardest map in the pool. It's a near 7-star AR 7.4 aim control gimmick map. Like, this is kind of obscene. Skrowell has not built any more of a scored lead than near the start of the map, by the way. Still down or up by less than 30k. So this is still technically winnable for decaten, but I don't think that's going to happen because neither player can really keep a huge combo here.
Yeah, you see them breaking on the similar parts, which is just overall where the map difficulties are. Decaten will find a break there. Skrowell also finding a miss straight after, so they're basically just struggling the same amount. Skrowell just picking up that early bit of score to help separate him slightly. But overall, a good first pick. Was able to play that just slightly better than decaten.
All right, now for decaten's first pick. Like, we're probably just seeing a Hard Rock here. I kind of assume Hard Rock 2 to be picked up by decaten here. Hard Rock 2 is some of that flowing alt Hard Rock, but it's going to be alt DT instead, picking the DT3 here. Gets to 11.3, no candle magic. 192 BPM AR 10.3 DT alt gimmick for this map.
Yeah, a lot of finger control and like aim control in this one. To kind of watch out for. Overall, just a very difficult map. I think also it's quite lengthy as well. So you've got to be able to keep that consistency up as well for this map. So we'll see how well Skrowell can respond. But it's likely to be it's definitely decaten favored this one.
Yeah, I think generally throughout this match, you're going to see decaten picking the higher approach rate gimmick picks and Skrowell picking the lower approach rate ones, especially with the separation between Hard Rock and Hidden here. Makes a lot of sense for decaten to be picking into these sorts of DT gimmicks versus Skrowell. Skrowell, not a necessarily bad DT player, but certainly far more known in tournaments in particular for the hidden and no mod kind of alt aim control mapping. And you're already seeing a pretty big hack lead for decaten, about 4% accuracy up in the mid 97s. Skrowell clawing a little bit of that back, going up to 94 now, but still about 3.5% lead for decaten here.
Yeah, good solitary lead for decaten there. Skrowell though starting to build up a bit of combo. Never mind, it's been taken away. And this is very much one-sided already. 100k difference in favor of decaten here.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, we're The conclusion is kind of already foregone with 98 versus 92 accuracy between these two players. So I think we're just waiting to see when or if decaten breaks and how good of a score in particular he's going to get. He should see the score line here. See, okay, I have full combo. My opponent is at 130k. I'm more than double his score. We're chilling. So maybe helping with the nerves a little bit for decaten at the halfway point here. This is, as you said, a pretty long map as well. This is over 5 minutes no mod, so still 3.5 minutes-ish with DT. So still quite a ways to go in this map. Still got about a minute and a half left in this one. Let's see exactly how long decaten can hold here. Bit of an easier section, though, about halfway through, so some free combo, free score for both players. Better for decaten than for Skrowell, though.
Yeah, although if decaten does find a miss, potential for Skrowell, but it's got to come quite soon. Bearing in mind decaten has got 98 out to Skrowell's 94. We've almost doubled the combo. There is a miss from decaten, though. But is there enough left score-wise in the map for Skrowell to take this? I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, at this rate, I think it still is going to be decaten winning the pick. I'm not sure if Skrowell actually has enough combo and accuracy to make this happen. He did find a lot of combo through the middle of the map, though, so it's going to be maybe a little close, but I mean, we're less than a quarter of the way to the end of the map now, and it's still over a 200,000 lead for decaten. I think this one's in the bag, and Skrowell, despite hitting 1,000+ combo here at the end of the map, finally finding some good footing. Still not going to be able to close it nearly quickly enough, and some misses there for both players at the end of the map. Going to seal it up. Decaten tying us up 1-1, 700k on the board on this DT3. Good score at the end of the map for Skrowell as well over 500k, but just not quite able to replicate the kind of score decaten is putting up on this, so we'll be tied up between the players' first picks.
Yeah, the accuracy deficit playing a major factor on that one. You can see their combo's actually not a million miles away, but really that accuracy has just done so much damage for Skrowell in the early going that there just wasn't enough score. It did break at the end, so it doesn't matter as much, but yeah, I probably would have maxed out at about 600 to 620k, I reckon. Even if he had held.
Yeah, those multiple breaks early on as well for Skrowell, I think, doing a number on the score. You know, decaten just had the one miss about 2/3 of the way through, and that was it until the ending when both of them started missing. So multiple breaks for Skrowell early on also playing a part in that. And now we're just waiting to see, I think, which of the remaining hidden maps Skrowell is going to pick. I'm kind of expecting the hidden 3 based off of how Skrowell has picked and chosen to play in other tournaments throughout the last year or so. And there it is.
We have to get one right.
Eventually. Gotta get one of these picks right.
Yeah, so again, this hidden 3 is, I think the way I kind of describe this map to people is that it's it balances out what hidden 1 and hidden 2 don't necessarily test. It's, you know, it's mech tech-ish. You know, there's more aim comparatively to say something like the Nomad 4. But overall its slot in the pool is just to be something else that isn't hidden 1 and hidden 2, I think.
Yeah, a lot of flow aim, a little bit of slider aim in this map, but I think a lot of this comes down to the flow aim and some of the jump aim, as you said. Not a huge part of this map, given that hidden 1 exists, but a lot of this is this kind of fake techy flow aim, as opposed to some of the more ridiculous sliders that you might see in kind of traditional tech map slots in tournament. You get a lot of this instead. Early break for Skrowell. Decaten holding onto the FC, I believe, from the start of the map. Worse accuracy for Skrowell now as well with that early break. So Decaten off to a good start on this pick. Skrowell playing catch up from the beginning of the map, but down less than 100 combos, so shouldn't end up being too big of a score lead for Decaten at really any point throughout the map with only this lead.
Yeah, so far not a major deficit. But yeah, like you said, a lot of this as well is the much easier side of the map. A lot of the star rating from this actually comes from like the ending of this map in particular. So I'm expecting to see more breaks in the latter half. I mean, this is a pretty nasty section right here. But both of them actually not struggling adjusting to it at all, which is a really good sign for the first half of this map anyway.
These players are putting up really solid combos on this. We see a lot of people break on that triple section into the Axel Diesel stream. Decaten missing on some of the jumps in the middle of it. Skrowell able to hold on. And this is now a massive combo lead for Skrowell if he can hold through the ending streams of this section. And does manage to hold there through the jumps as well. Skrowell now off to the races as he finally has a big combo lead on this map. The score just about to swap over there. And now there's even more kind of difficult jump triple aim. Skrowell actually finds a slider break right afterwards, so no big lead for either player. Slight combo lead for Decaten, slight score lead for Skrowell as we get into even more of these finger control, aim control focused sections. Some of the 1-6 start coming out here. These massive cut stream chain miss for Skrowell though. Decaten able to hit the whole pattern and keep the combo into the last third of the map.
Yeah, that's massive, being able to hit one of those spikes. We're gonna see some more coming up. So again, Decaten, if I would say if he hits the next one, he'll probably give himself enough of a buffer that Skrowell isn't necessarily going to be able to respond to it. But again, we'll have to see going into some of those streams. Does find a slider break himself, though. Skrowell now needs to hit this and start to maintain in this spikier section of the map. That is really going to determine whether he holds on to his map pick or drops it to Decaten here, and he does find a miss.
Yeah, a couple of misses here for Skrowell near the end. Decaten does match, but it's still a 50,000 score lead for Decaten. And if you're Skrowell, you need to just pray for more misses to come out for Decaten and hold as much as possible through this ending. This part of the map, the most difficult section for most players to hold through. There goes Decaten once again on another slider break. Skrowell starting to close the lead a little bit, down to about 40k, and closing in favor of Skrowell, but is there enough time? Is it combo dense enough? I'm not quite sure. Both players dropping a lot of accuracy. Decaten completely chain missing this section, and Skrowell actually hitting all of the slider jumps, but he misses on the last section. More chain misses for Decaten. It's in less than 5k, and Skrowell actually taking it back on the very last pattern with the buzz slider stream there at the end. Too many chain misses for Decaten, and Skrowell able to just barely hold on to enough score to get the win.
Never. I cannot believe he's got away with that. Oh, that's insane. Just, there was so much actually going on at the end there. You just couldn't keep up with everything that was happening, but oh my god. And look at those graphs. You see Skrowell where he had his chain miss 2/3 of the way through, and then just Decaten just unfortunately got caught out by those sliders, and the ending pattern just, oh my god, what a crazy end to that map.
Yeah, that ending was wild. That was that was extremely close between those two players. As you said, just Skrowell barely holding on to enough score by just not chain missing the slider jumps at the end, plus the slider streams at the end, where Decaten really could not find any combo at all. And Decaten saying, "All right, let's change things up a bit and go into some tapping strain here." The Nomad 2 now picked up for Decaten some 211 BPM streams here.
Yeah, this map, you know, it's your very traditional stamina flow aim test. There isn't too much to necessarily talk about with this one. It's very much your standard Nomad 2, which you see a lot more of in the earlier rounds. The difficulty of this one it does ramp up. You've definitely got a much more tamer start to this one. But other than that, you expect players to get high combos on something like this.
All right, let's see how well the stamina holds up for both of these players on this map. one of very few tapping-focused maps in the pool. Nomad 2, Nomad 5, DT2, really the only ones. And whoever wins this can kind of expect to be able to pick into some of those other tapping picks that are left up. Maybe we see one of them banned out by the player who loses this. And both of them getting slow slided there right before the next section. So pretty much even going into the next part of the map.
I mean, you know, it creates a nice even playing field for them. You know, it's like that first section that just didn't matter.
It's a matter of good sportsmanship, you know? Your opponent gets slow slidered at the beginning, you say, okay, yeah, you know what, let's get slow slidered also. Keep it even here.
I got you.
All right, we'll see whether any of these players can hold some good accuracy through the rest of this map. I think a lot of these types of maps, especially, you can kind of tell which player is more comfortable based off the accuracy. Some understreaming here near the start of the map for Skrowell. Decaten looking a little bit more comfortable up at 97% accuracy. And neither player dropping combo so far. At least both of them able to hold on to that. And luckily for Skrowell, no breaks here near the start. But as I say that, he finds a miss on the first circle stream in the PI time. And Decaten's still going strong with the FC.
Yeah, the door's open for him at this stage. Halfway through the map, Skrowell's found a pretty nasty break. And as you can see, Decaten will know that he's got the advantage now. So it's just taking his combo as far as he can. But there you go, you see the accelerating streams catching him out. Skrowell can't really respond to it as well as he would have liked. Did find a break at a similar time. So he is very far behind at this point.
Yeah, you said Decaten taking his combo as far as he can. Apparently not very far with those accelerating streams. Those are always a pain as a player. Usually very difficult in comparison to a lot of other types of streams. Even a lot of players more comfortable with cut streams or decelerating streams than with those Axel streams. And into the next guy time now, a little bit more aim control with the slider jumps in this part, some more of those higher spacing streams. Neither player dropping so far in this PI time, and both of them actually holding really well through this section. The spacing going up once again here near the end of the map. One big chain miss could still swing this back the way of Skrowell, but Decaten holding strong with the better accuracy, up about 2% there. He does finally find a drop, but I don't think it's going to be enough. And there's the miss for Skrowell at the end of that section as well. 55k in the favor of Decaten. Just a sliver of map left. Unless we see a similar tumbling as we saw at the end of the previous pick, I don't think this is going the way of Skrowell.
No, the one thing I will say, though, is that those does hit the ending, though, both of them, which is a really tricky accelerating stream. But those slow sliders have been particularly brutal this time around. I don't think they actually managed to hit through any of them. I think they've completely caught them off guard on this run through. Nasty slow sliders.
Well, pretty solid start to the match. We're off to a pretty close one here, 2-2 between these two players. Next set of bans to come through now. I'm still expecting probably a hidden one ban from Decaten. I feel like a lot of the rest of the pool is pretty open between them. Decaten, a good alt player, so probably leaves up the Nomad 3 here unless he's feeling a little uncomfortable leaving that particular skill set up versus Skrowell. Which I could understand. I mean, Skrowell, a very, very good alt player in his own right, so maybe looking to ban that out. Probably another Hard Rock ban from Skrowell, unless you want to ban out something like the DT2 or Nomad 5 after how that Nomad 2 went. Not quite sure exactly what the bans are going to be here. Nomad 1, I feel like, is very unexpected. Not sure if you were expecting something like that, Demarsh, but I certainly was not expecting Nomad 1 ban.
No, I can't really justify it with Hidden One still up, but you know, it's a very easy to miss map, so I guess in terms of maybe he's trying to lean away from having the kind of less RNG kind of picks. That's much more of a sensible ban, I think, from Skrowell on that one. Much more expected. But we'll see. We'll see why he's left that that hidden one open. Maybe there's some level of comfort that we're not aware of. But again, another very expected pick here with the No Mod 3. I suppose the interesting bit of discussion with this one is that it's that CS 3.5, AR 9.5 alt style map. You got a lot of sharp, awkward aim angles here. Some flow aim sections as well. It's the choruses on this one that really that are the real tests throughout this map. But other than that, a lot of it is the same. Once you get through this first third, it's more or less the same throughout the rest of the map. So very, very consistent test on this one. So looking good for both of them so far. Skrowell actually taking a bit of an accuracy dip. We've seen that kind of trend throughout this match. Decaten definitely the better accuracy player. But other than that, both of them still doing very, very well. And both of them holding combo, which is the most important part at this stage. Skrowell will find a miss, though, quarter of the way through the map. Decaten will hold through. If you can get through this chorus section, you've definitely got, with this one, some nasty flow aim, which is what Skrowell got caught out on at the beginning and the ends of every section of chorus. And Decaten will get caught out in the latter half of that flow aim. And we are having a bit of a changeover in the booth. Dio has dropped out, and T1G has joined me. How are we doing, my dude?
Hey, better than Dio, I guess. I still have power, and everything's still good here. So hopefully he can get whatever his issue is sorted out. But yeah, I have joining here in the middle of the map, so I will let you continue on where you were.
Yeah, man, take all the time you need. At the moment, we've still got Decaten holding the lead as he was able to hold through that first chorus quite nicely. So he's established that score difference at the moment. But both of them have recovered quite nicely here. And Decaten, man, it does break on those snaps, but Skrowell makes it through. So a bit of a reverse here, a bit of in the bridge section here. Nice bit of combo for Skrowell to kind of start to catch up to Decaten here. Should even out by the time we hit the next chorus. So still a very, very close match coming up here.
The back third of this pick has an interesting mix of, pretty slow empty sections, but also does have some of these pretty difficult patterns as well that you see throughout the rest of the map. So with this one having Skrowell in the lead here, it's not safe by any means, it feels, until you come to the very ending, because that last chorus is pretty tricky. It looks like he is going to take the lead over, especially with that break from decaten.
Yeah, it's a nasty time, although Skrowell does find a break, so ooh, lucky for Decaten there. Just at the right time. 10k score difference.
That was a really conveniently timed miss if you're rooting for decaten, because this is just free combo here for the next little while, and that score lead might have been able to grow a little bit more. Instead, it's a small combo lead and near even accuracy, so this is going to be completely determined by the last difficult section. I think we're 10k. I think decaten brings that back with a 50 combo lead, but it's going to be super, super close if both of them FC the ending, so this is about as balanced as it gets. Here we go.
Yeah, the accuracy gives him no advantage either. They are neck and neck on that. It's all in that combo. Can it do enough to make it up? It's going to be so close towards the ending here. Accuracy will be super important at the end. Skrowell drop a couple of hundreds, and I think
it's going to go.
It's going to go, yeah.
It's going to go, and ever just barely is it going to go. Those couple extra hundreds, Skrowell hitting at the end, and decaten pulls it back, FCing both of them FCing the last chorus, but the slight AC advantage and that slight combo lead, and that's going to be 6,000 points to the good for decaten to take the 3-2 lead. I joined at a good time.
Damn right you did. So that was a really close map. We've had a couple of those. I think it was 2 maps ago we had a neck and neck where it was just there was nothing in between it. So really, really close matchup between these two. I'm still curious to see why decaten left up that hidden one. I'd be very surprised to see him pick into it. But I'm very curious as to why he's left that up.
Find out at some point, surely. And it seems that my time here is going to be short-lived, as Dio has made it back in. So we'll welcome back to Dio, and glad to be here for about a minute and a half. But I'll head back out until and unless needed, and we'll see Dio back in for the remainder of this match.
Thank you, Aaron. Yeah, my power went out in the middle of a sunny day with no apparent high wind or storm or anything nearby, so I'm not sure exactly what happened there. Unfortunately, I missed the break point on Nomad 3 because of that, but at least I get to see the DT1 pick from decaten.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say you've not missed out on much, but it was actually a very, very close map, so unlucky on that one. But hopefully Skrowell will...
Thanks for rubbing it into Marsh. I appreciate that.
Well, you're on Wi-Fi, so joke's on you. Going into this DT1, you know, this is very much a DT aimer's paradise, this kind of map. Not so much if you're more of a tournament player and used to those custom DT1s, but for your average DT aim farmer, this is right up your street.
Yeah, I mean, not much that's weird about this map. It's kind of high BPM, but aside from that, nothing crazy going on here. AR 10.5, I think OD 10.4 on this one, and already an early break for Skrowell, 92 act to 94. Neither player really having a great time in terms of the accuracy on this one, but decaten holding on to the combo a little better, and on maps like this, that's really all that matters. If you can aim the jumps and mash your way through some of the bursts, then you'll at least get a pretty good score.
Yeah, I think holding the high accuracy, again, they both nearly got caught out by that slow slider. But holding the good accuracy on this, I think, is particularly hard, mainly because it's just that 285 BPM, as well as that high OD that DT brings. But to be fair, they've both got very similar accuracies. It's just that combo that was doing so much work for decaten that has now gone. Skrowell could really do with building something up themselves, but as long as decaten just matches them, nothing Skrowell can do there. Comes another miss.
Yeah, and you know, at some point you just have to think, like, if all of this trading back and forth continues between these players, if we see another miss there from decaten, this constant trading back and forth just favors the player with the higher score already, and that is decaten, up about 80,000 score right now. Both players actually hitting the long stream there into this kind of speedy section, but no significant change in the score lead. Still about 63k for Decaten right now, or 83k, excuse me, for Decaten at the moment. And with only a quarter of the map left to go, it's going to have to be a pop-off from Skrowell and a fumble from Decaten in order for this to change direction and let us see a second breakpoint in a row. But it doesn't seem like that fumble is happening. Decaten does find a miss, but it's going to take a bit more than that, I think, to bring this back the way of Skrowell. Even with a 250 combo advantage for Skrowell, I don't think this is going to be enough. You're still down about 50,000 score here with just a sliver of map left, and it's going to be close by the end of it, but just that one miss is not enough. 30k by the end of the map for Decaten, but he does come out on top and consolidate that breakpoint, now up 4-2.
Yeah, again, though, you're starting to get to that point where a lot of these maps, there isn't a lot between them. It's that little bit of edge that Decaten had, which is allowing to establish this lead, but it is potential good news for Skrowell as well, because he's managing to keep up with Decaten. It's not a completely one-sided affair. So there is the chance that it flips the other way later on into this matchup. But this next pick from Skrowell will be crucial, I think.
Yeah, I mean, if you lose this next pick as Skrowell, you're down 5-2, match point with Decaten having next pick. So I kind of expect this to be something that Skrowell is really, really comfortable on. We expected that to be something like the Nomad 3, but he does lose on that. You see Decaten banning out stuff like the Nomad 1 instead of the hidden one, so maybe you go with that, but it's actually the DT2, and I don't know how much I like this. Decaten has won DT3, DT1, and Nomad 2. So all of the maps that are skill set adjacent to this have been wins for Decaten. So this is a very surprising pick to me. Maybe Skrowell knows something that we don't, but this is probably the last map that I expected him to pick in this situation.
No, I'll tell you what this is, right? This is that mind game that Decaten played in the second ban phase of leaving that hidden one open. It's like, why have you left that hidden one open? Why have you picked this DT2? It's all mind games. That's all it is.
I mean, maybe. Sure. I mean, if you're leaving the hidden one open, you know, maybe it is a trap. I don't know. But I'm still a little surprised to see this be the pick after, you know, Nomad 2, DT1, DT3 all go the way of Decaten. Off to a good start, though, for Skrowell. 97 accuracy, still on the full combo. A couple of early misses for Decaten. The accuracy suffering as a result should start to even out a little bit as we get further and further into the map. But for now, staying at about 97 to 93. Another miss there for Skrowell this time, though. And Decaten dropping the accuracy quite a bit, but holding on to the combo, and that is the more important part. Now with a couple hundred combo advantage for Decaten going into the middle of the map.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is, as well, with this map is that, you know, the 248 BPM is relatively manageable for a lot of players who aren't as necessarily strong on the DT, so I think that's part of it for Skrowell, but maybe he's just limited on picks, but he's not doing too bad. A break from Decaten here would really open things up for him to bring that lead back to his side, but it is in Decaten's favor right now. As we go on to this next break to come from one of these players will be crucial, and Decaten is dropping a lot of accuracy on this.
Oh. Yeah, dropping accuracy is one thing, dropping combo is another thing entirely, and Skrowell dropping the combo now completely disadvantaged. 780 combo advantage for Decaten here, and this may just be the end of the road for Skrowell. It's not going to quite be the end of the match yet, but again, as I said at the start, if you lose this map, you go down match point with Decaten having the next pick. And Demarsh, I fear we may have another 6-2 on our hands. This tournament is cursed in round of 16. How are all of the matches 6-2 or closer? Or, I'm sorry, 6-2 or even more one-sided? This is actually unreal.
Because seeding means nothing. Nothing matters. It's all wrong. No, I don't know. I believe in Skrowell. I think he's still got something to show with this match, but and again, if you look at those scores, you see a higher accuracy for Skrowell. You know, a better comfort. Just couldn't combo game when he needed to. You know, put that down to nerves or anything else. But yeah, a bit of an unlucky choice that decaten was decided to combo game on that map.
Yeah, I mean, in the context of accuracy, like you said, I don't dislike the pick anymore. It seemed weird at the time, but looking at the accuracy, obviously Skrowell more comfortable on the pick, just not able to combo when it matters, and decaten mashing his way through, sure, but able to get 1K combo and wins the map because of it. So it ends up not mattering the overall comfort level of the players as decaten just combo games his way through. And now we get a potential last pick for decaten here. Still possible for Skrowell to win this. He would have to win 3 in a row and then go to tiebreaker and win it. It's a tough road, but it's still possible. It's still doable from here. The question is, where does decaten go from here? You still have Hard Rock 1 open. You did leave up the hidden 1. So maybe you go there. The DT pool is all gone. Nomad 4 is still up. Nomad 5 is still up. And in the context of decaten having won all 3 DT picks and Nomad 2, I feel like Nomad 5 is a pretty solid shout here for decaten. Maybe we see him go towards the Hard Rock 1. He is a Hard Rock comfort player after all, but you know, with the Nomad 1 ban and the kind of avoidance to aim generally throughout this match so far, I don't really know if we're going to see that.
Interesting. I was actually banking.
Actually, you know what? I like this too.
No, I like this, but I was surprised he didn't go into Nomad 5 more, just because of that adjustment side would be that a little bit easier. But again, Skrowell looked very good on that DT2 as well, accuracy wise.
So I'll tell you why he did not go into Nomad 5 and instead went into this map. Decaten is number 7 on the map, and his score's not an FC, but it's pretty close to an FC. It's about 170 combo back from an FC or so. With Hard Rock, there's no hidden full combos on this map. There's only 4. Actually, that maybe is 3 Nomad FCs on this. So yeah, on a map where there's somewhere between 2 and 4 Nomad FCs, decaten is number 7 on the map with Hard Rock. That's some added level of comfort when you only have to play at Nomad in tournaments. So I expect the score from decaten on this to be really good. Decaten generally is a pretty good tech player, but this map in particular seems to agree with him quite a bit.
Yeah, and the early combo advantage definitely agrees with that theory. Skrowell finding another reset. Decaten though also getting slowed down. Skrowell actually now having the accuracy leading, which is not something we've seen a lot of in this match. But another break from decaten in the slower section does bode well if Skrowell can do something in this first spiky section that's coming up shortly.
Well, I said I agree with the pick, and decaten is losing it. I say I disagree with the Skrowell pick, and Skrowell puts up a really good score with pretty solid accuracy. Maybe I should just stop talking. I don't know. Like, the players seem to be just kind of doing their own thing here. Another break to come through for Skrowell, but still ahead a little bit in the accuracy. Still ahead in score by about 10k. There is combo on decaten, enough to bring back a 10k score lead at least. Both players hitting these back and forth triples just fine in the PI time here before we get into some more of the really ridiculous sliders this map has to offer. Score lead now pretty minuscule and sure to go over to decaten shortly, but only halfway through the map, not quite halfway through in fact, so quite a lot of time left for anything to happen in this pick. And as we've already seen near the start, perhaps leaderboard scores matter a little bit less in tournament than people would have you believe, as there goes decaten, there goes Skrowell as well, but not before the chain miss for decaten gives over a little bit of a score lead to Skrowell. Skrowell going to find another slider break, decaten going to follow it up with one of his own, and neither player really able to hold on to anything during this section, but it's Skrowell a little bit more comfortable, a little bit higher accuracy, not quite managing to cheese the slider tick on that one, so does drop the combo once again. And decaten up about 50 combo. Now make that 100 as he actually hits the slider stream. Skrowell finding a chain miss, and now 10k in the favor of decaten with about 120 combo lead to go with it. Just barely out ahead 2/3 of the way through the map.
Yeah, those sliders were absolutely brutal for Skrowell there. I think there was 2 on that occasion where he actually followed the slider the wrong way. And obviously that's allowed decaten to sneak his way into the lead at the moment. But again, it's not a definitive victory as of yet. We've got a quarter of the map left. Some tricky sections coming up, and it's hard to call decaten the favorite at this stage, because Skrowell is still chasing with better accuracy.
Yeah, he's out ahead for now with combo and score, but as you said, accuracy slightly in favor of Skrowell, and that lead is pretty small, Demarsh. It's only about 20k right now for decaten, so this is not at all decided. We still have this last breakdown section in this map to go, and anything can happen. We've seen so many breaks in this map. It is so difficult to be consistent on something like this. And there's another miss for decaten. Gonna start to bring back a little bit of score towards Skrowell. Can he hold on long enough? No. Does find another miss, but the score lead is so small at this point. It's only 13k. Either player can still win this. Any misses here on a long stream like this can completely change the course of a map. They both break at pretty much the exact same point, but it favors Skrowell again. More act drops for decaten. It's 5k now between the two players. Just a sliver of map left. Can Skrowell barely bring this back? I don't know if there's enough time, and I think that is the last long slider. There's just a little bit of map left. It's down below 5k. But the map slows down enough that both of them can hit everything, and decaten by 4,500 points will finish out the 6-2 and win against Skrowell here in round of 16.
Oh man, Skrowell did everything he could to break that 6-2 curse that we've been seeing throughout this round of 16, and unfortunately has been just missed out. If you look at that match, that MP link, it is a very different story than what you see on the screen. 6-2 for decaten. He wins out when he needed to, but Skrowell had some incredibly close matches there where we could have been seeing a very different scoreline at this stage.
Yeah, very close match again. Not quite what the scoreline describes, but at the end of the day, 6-2 is 6-2, and no match has been closer than 6-2, no matter how close it's been on each individual map. Neither player able to take more than 2 points off of their winning opponent. So it's been an odd weekend here in the round of 16. We'll see if that continues with the next matchup, and I think most people expect it to be similarly one-sided here. The last match of the weekend is going to be Malashevsky versus Window Life. Seed 1 versus 16 out of qualifiers, and of course Malashevsky, known as one of the most consistently high-scoring tournament players across early stages in open rank tournaments. So I think a lot of people predicting that one to be relatively in the favor of Malashevsky by a pretty good margin. We'll see if Window Life can defy the odds or if Malashevsky can hold true to those expectations later. For now, congratulations to decaten. Thank you to Skrowell for playing, and we'll see you back here in about an hour and 15 minutes for the last match of the Corsace Closed round of 16.